Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's another beautiful Wednesday morning on Just a Chat with BunmiAlabi. How has been your day, your week so far? So good. And yeah, we're in the month of July, and the year is running so fast. And I just want to know that's okay, because a lot of people would have been saying, okay, the first half of the month, what have I been able to achieve and the likes, asking yourself questions, checking your goals, your dreams, and you realize that, okay, I still have a long way to go. This is just to give you a kind of encouragement that it's not over yet. The year is still have lots of things you can do within this 6 months that remain in the year. So you just keep trying, just keep trusting God. Just keep taking one step at a time. Every little step makes a mile. So don't stop trying, don't stop giving that thing a try again. If you were denied the first time, go back there, try again. If you use a method that didn't work the first time, reroute, change your method, try something else, but don't stop trying. That's just what I want to tell you. Don't stop trying. The fact that you failed the first time doesn't mean that you can't get it right the second time you try. So keep trying with your dream, with your vision, with your goals for 2025. We still have a long way to go, even though the year is running so fast. So that's my tip for you this morning. And for this episode, I have my partner here who is joining me on the show. Yeah, please welcome with me, Lady Avalon, who is joining us on set today.
Morning, everyone.
How you doing?
Fine, you're looking great.
You too, we don't have option, we just have to look good.
Yes,
No
so
matter what, I always say that looking good is a good business. And that's why people that are doing cosmetics, selling hair, selling clothes for women,
Yes.
especially because I heard that men they don't take care of them, but except some people that
They
are
take care of
trying to
them.
take care of
Yeah,
themselves.
but
They
they are
don't,
taking.
they don't take care of themselves. So, but like like I always tell my husband, I say, if you like, you don't buy clothes. Me, I will spend your money. I will buy clothes because how would they know that you are taking care
But
of
when
your
you're
life?
doing it, they'll not say, you should like yourself.
You get it now. So take care of yourself, men. Buy clothes. If you see clothes that you like, buy because if me I see
Yes,
clothes that I like, me I will buy it. Oh, looking good is honestly no.
Yes.
Jokes apart, now looking good is a very good business. When
Yes.
it builds your confidence.
Seriously.
Yeah, it builds your confidence.
And it's
And
intentionality.
it doesn't have to be
Seriously.
expensive.
No.
Yes, that's what people don't understand. Looking good doesn't have to be maybe you buy very expensive clothes, as in good, neat, as in neatly iron your clothes, do slight, you don't need slight makeup, do your hair, smell nice. You're cool.
Yes. Combine the perfume.
So
And make it simple hairstyle.
this reminds me. Let me just give a tip. I think I'm going to invite Mr. Davy,
Okay.
for snippet from the last marriage clinic. In case you missed that edition or is the edition or episode, please go and watch it on this page. Yeah, it was really loaded. I got something about we're not talking about the hygiene. We're talking about women should take care of they should not wear black undies and like and those there was like
Black
okay.
costumes.
Talk about the men, that day if I start, I will break all the tables for the men because there are a lot of things that we need to. I will try to correct. Honestly, this is off our topic today, but I think it is necessary.
Yes.
Because men that will when they want to pee, they will splash everything on the toilet seat.
I have to be following my sons to the toilet now. So I'll now wait. I'll tell them to splash everything because it's not bringing too.
Do you know what they tell? But as the only female in the house now, they've made it to be my husband will call me that confusion has come again. Minister for environment. You say you better go and join. I will be like, is it a crime to tell you what? I'm the one sitting on the toilet seat. I will have to sit
They
and
have to be
prone to
connected.
all this infection and the likes. And I now notice that most of them when they want to pee that they will not sit on the
For correction.
they will see. So one day I was asking myself, are you putting on you say, I'm so you are not come out correct.
Well, really.
Honestly,
but let me say something. It's about how we correct. Some of them find it difficult to do. It's so hard to say like you have to move closer when you're almost through with your week. You move closer to the place.
You should be teaching them how to.
You teach you how to. You don't give up in teaching.
You teach you how to do. Which one? Did they teach us? I beg. Once we tell you that this is how you do things, some of the men they will drop clothes, they will hang it on the cupboard. I remember one of my
keep teaching them.
My sister I was saying that The other will just be hanging clothes on the cupboard till the cupboard
Fair.
just fell down. You understand? So when clothes are dirty, put them in the laundry bin.
Hello.
Please,
You keep teaching.
you keep teaching.
Yes.
Okay, oh, we are teaching you. But honestly, I'm bringing Mr. David as well. We'll talk about this because it's very important. You know,
Yeah.
talking about looking good, your environment, your space where I have to be intentional with where I sleep because I told my son, I said, see, even mentally, where you
Yeah.
sleep is one of the things that affect your mentality. It makes you
True.
feel,
True.
there's this sense of coziness it gives you when you are in a clean environment. And I like my room to even be white. I'm even planning of just
What do
painting
you
it
think of
white.
people that go to the hotel? Because they feel that wow,
Yeah.
the room is serene.
Yeah,
They don't want
that's serene.
noise. You understand? So
Yes.
even your room, your house can be very
Yeah,
comfortable.
very
I have that,
comfortable.
and it's something that is recently. I even told myself that you need to change the setting of your room to sleep
Yes.
well, wake up nice, and you're thinking of a good dream
Yes,
ahead
yes.
of you.
It helps you to
Yes.
mental. Honestly, before we just go, this is very, very important. Your atmosphere, your ambience, where you
Yes.
sleep is very important. It says a lot about how you feel in your body, how you think.
Yes.
Because if where you are sleeping, where you are studying, if it's messy, it will affect you psychologically. So all these things are very important, and we believe that we learn as we grow. A lot of things like this, little things has really caused issue in marriages. Okay, you don't know how to clean things, you don't know how to hang clothes, you don't know how to do laundry and the like. So please, let's work together and make things better. All right.
Yeah,
So that's just a tip for us from the marriage and relationship angle today. But today we are talking about children and discipline. Honestly, there's a very disturbing video I saw online recently, and I wouldn't want to say, okay, this thing is just is about the environment, maybe the part of the country where it happens, but perhaps it happens here. What do we do? Parents and training children, how they respond to discipline, how they respond to correction. This video of a boy that was team hall with his, I think it happened in in
Okay,
abroad,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
maybe UK or thereabout. That the boy team up with his friend and they murdered a girl, and they sentenced the boy to 25 years imprisonment, and the guy was laughing
Yeah.
and he was smiling like
Smiling.
just smiling. And that got the judge so annoyed, and he just said, okay, it seems as if that 25 years is too small for you, and he increased it to
It's
285
fine.
85 years.
Yes.
Like, Ibeluma Pussy. And I was like, Shelley, why is this? First of all, is that so? Is it not too
Too much.
much? Is it not acting based on? Is it not being sentimental with his judgments? Let's even start from the judge.
Okay, for me, I would not say it's being sentimental.
Okay.
The father of the child was reacting.
Mm,
They're in agony.
mm,
I know the boy can be smiling out of maybe I'm afraid, or maybe I didn't mean it. At least I'm already in prison. You people, at least you have already told me how many years I'm going to live. At the end of the day, I'm going to come out and meet
mm,
with my family. But in no case
mm,
should somebody give that kind of smile
mm,
and attitude when thinking of other people they are put in pain. The boy is good looking, he's not on
mm,
drugs, he's not any under any emotional trauma, like physically. You
mm,
understand? Maybe he can be in that trauma in the prison, I don't know.
mhm,
But with that reaction, it was too much. Because
mm,
the judge that is giving the sentence knows that there's a family that is involved, and your mother was crying in front
mm,
of you.
mm,
You're not even feeling like my mother is in pain. These people are in pain. That smile was too much for
mm,
anybody going through pain.
mm,
They don't need that kind of smile at that
mm,
time. So for me, I
mm,
feel that it was way, way too much for that boy to give that kind of attitude in the presence of everybody.
mm.
So that's
Well,
my
when I saw him, when I saw it, I was like, okay, maybe because I'm in mental health for someone, I had to look at it from the angle of, okay, could the boy be going through some psychological disorder, like maybe he has some personality disorder, maybe like a narcissist, or like trauma, going through a trauma. There are sometimes that when people go through, he's already in heat. You know
yes.
that he's been sentenced.
Yes.
And there are some things that comes in when you know that, okay, you're already in a mess, and instead of you to cry, you begin to laugh.
Yes.
And it will look as if, okay, are you really okay? Are you normal? At that time, at that point, the state of time for the guy, he might not be in a good right frame of mind. He might be acting based on fear, like you say, or like someone who has some. It could be a sociopath, psychopath. That's what I'm looking hard at. Okay, how could you take someone's life and you were sentenced, and the next thing you were doing is you were just laughing. So I think that out of annoyance, the judge will be like, this is disrespectful. Like
Yeah.
someone that doesn't like have empathy. You see the parent,
Yeah.
this is taking someone's life.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we should have to even look at it from the angle of the parent, of the family the guy comes from. Or don't you think that has a
Yes.
way of affecting, or maybe the
Yes.
way he reacts? Maybe you believe that, okay, my mom, my father has influence, they know how to get me out of this place, or what do you think?
Okay, for me, you see, our children at home, they have this kind of attitude when you correct them at home. Sometimes it happens to me. If I correct you as a child and I don't see that you're remorseful, I will take you back and correct you again. Didn't you feel bad about what you did? Or I'm correcting you and giving you this, I would tell you that attitude is bad. One, I will refer you back to the future, telling you that if you keep up with this attitude, you're going to have problem with your friends, you're going to have problem with your in-laws, you're going to have problem with your boss. You understand? So that you will be able to think straight. The day I played this video for my children, my daughter was very scared. And wow. Because I tell them your attitude has a lot to do in front of people. And we also have to make children realize, see, when you're in the presence of people, you should remember that you are not the only one there. Everybody is watching you. They are watching your attitude. And nobody will know what is in your mind. People are only watching your appearance. So for what he did, the mother, because she has stayed with him, knows that my son is remorseful. My son is feeling bad. That was why the mother could understand the statement. But for the judge's zone is that, why would you be behaving like that? Everybody is crying, feeling bad, and you are not even remorseful. You are laughing. So the judge at that point in time does not understand his own personality. So has rights to judge him based on his reaction. So if that is why sometimes if you get a good lawyer will tell you, pretend. I've been in the hospital before and I was not in labor and I needed a doctor. And a doctor came to me and told me that when the gynecologists come, do as if you're in labor. Because if you don't behave like that, they will not attend to you and they will change your doctor. So I'm not saying he should pretend, but he should even have a sense of empathy, knowing that this situation, this case, a family is involved. So for me, I'm not saying that he doesn't have that psychological effect of fear, but he wouldn't have behaved like that. So the parents at some point could have corrected him for some things at home and he would have smiled at it and walk away. And another thing is probably this boy did not do this thing. I'm not sure that they wanted to kill the person involved, but maybe something happened and led to the death of the child. So he may be feeling, at least I'm confident, I didn't do it. I know at the end of the day, I'll come out of it. Because if you watch the videos to the end, the boy felt remorseful when the judge gave the final verdict and the sentence. So for me, I feel that for every situation you find yourself, feel bad, still show a sense of empathy.
You mentioned something that maybe assuming he didn't even do it. I now look at it that, okay, how much more people that are not guilty, people that are innocent, and they've been given such a sentence. And like you were saying, maybe okay, sometimes they could say, okay, pretend. If you pretend that, okay, you are crying, so people say, it is crocodile tears, it's pretend. It is for real. If you are crying for real, they say, why can't you stand for yourself? Why can't you be confident? Why can't you give a bold face? Like, maybe she's just trying to look at, okay, this is beyond crying.
Yeah.
There are ways that, no, I understand what I'm saying. There are sometimes that you get to a stage that you believe that this thing is beyond crying. Okay, let's not bring it down home now. Maybe a child does something wrong and you correct the child. And the child, there are ways that child will want to feel like, okay, it's not paining me. And you as a parent, you see that this child is not feeling, to me now. And you want to increase that punishment on the child until this child cries. So the child will be like, if I continue to do a strong face, they will continue to flog you. And let me pretend as if it's paining me. So they can. So, is that a better way for correction? Could that have been a better way? Okay, now, like, as they sentence him to 85 years imprisonment, is that the best way to correct the child? I know there's no mother that would be happy to see a child go through such your punishment like that. But for the other, it could not have been the best way. But I want also just bring it down. Okay, when the child does wrong and the child is not taking some things, as in he's not really responding, and we have this thing is very common among teenagers.
Yes.
When teenagers, that rebellious spirit, kind of, I don't know, maybe is the, I know it's just this adolescent pressure and the like. They feel like, okay, I can't be correct. I can do what I like. I have the right to do this. Okay. You understand? And the parent is trying. There's a stage that you talk to a child. The child listen. When a child is between ages 1 to 10 or thereabout, but once the child is getting to like age 12 and above, getting to that teenager, they believe that I know what is right.
Confront you.
They confront, they challenge you, they ask you questions. And some parent they could be aggressive when you see that, okay, this child that I'm correcting, it happened to me and my son, something that I had to just be, I was almost crying one day when he was doing something, and I was like, why is it that the things that I told you not to do, those are the things you are doing?
So now look at
And
you
he was looking at me, and he was just looking like he was looking. I knew that deep within him, I could see that he was feeling remorseful. He was feeling like, and I don't want to do this thing. And at the point I wanted to do as if I wanted to be crying. I said, let me cry, let me this boy will feel for me if he sees me cry. But I was like, no, I'm not going to cry. I will pray about this thing and I will keep talking to him. I use so many things because I've stopped beating, I've stopped spanking them that, okay, this is not going to work. But I wouldn't want to use that as a threat. And at the same time, I wouldn't want to say, man, no, I will do this and I will not do it. So they will mommy will not beat me now.
Yes.
Does that mean those children will not, they will still want to do it? But at what point should a parent know that, okay, I'm going too far? Okay, this thing is not working for me. Okay, I'll be talking to this child, they still keep doing the same thing. Should I increase the punishment on them? Should I do something that will make them feel, at the point I have to tell them that, see, you are not even, I use a lot of things to threaten his work. To threat, and I know a lot of parents that have teenagers out there, they'll be finding it difficult at times, especially maybe when you have a girl child too, and you're telling the child, okay, these are the things you should do, even girl child, boy child. So should the parent inflict more punishment on the child, or threaten the child with something that will break them?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. In psychology, we're taught that every teenager is assumed to be rude. Based on your environment. If you have a very strong parent and is disciplined, your rudeness will die within you. Because you will not be able to exhibit that rudeness. But if you are in a home that there is so much love, you can show a little bit of rudeness. Mommy, I don't want to eat this food. You can go out and pamper yourself. So I would say that one of the things in the olden days when we were younger, the kind of parenting we had then is different from now. Now, children have a little bit of freedom. So in this generation, if you have parents that are having teenagers, for me, I had that, when I was having a little bit of conversation with my own daughter, got to a point, I'm like, Shibi, you're the one I used to talk to before, you listen. Now you want to ask me questions. So I needed to ask my coach that, what do you think is wrong? So at that point, I needed to create some family rules and values. And one of the things I did, I put in practice, is I started doing the mother and daughter talk, mother and son talk. Because they want to, I saw a video yesterday, one of the things a child wants is time. Give them time. And the time you have with the boy is different from the time you have with the girl.
The girl child.
So a girl child. So create time for them. And if you create time for them, you realize that the value system that you create in the home, like recently I told my children, one of the value systems that we're exhibiting is respect. Respect yourself. Younger respect elders, elders respect younger ones, and you respect parents. So if there is a value system that you know that in a home, there's a level of respect. When the teenager is coming up, because every teenager at some point, especially the firstborn, get to a particular age that they become nagging. They want to exhibit that thing you have taught them on their siblings.
That responsibility, sense of responsibility.
It's something, and then, so as a parent, you now want to get to that firstborn and say, I didn't tell you to be beating your brother like this. Because I saw that my daughter beats my son. They're like, did I tell you but you have
careful.
to support me. I said, no, I did not say this, but I also have to be careful because if I did not support her, he will not listen to her. And she will not get a support system from me, and I'll find it difficult to control him when I'm not at home. So, as a parent, let us create family rules, value system, respect, love. You understand? Things that you will build in as a family, and when every child know that is a rule, the child that is a teenager that is having tendency to be rude will follow suit. I know that in our home we don't disrespect. In our home we follow God. In our home, whatever we are doing is according to the word of God. So they will follow those rules, even when they are trying to be rude or trying to be nonchalant or arrogant. They will remember some of those rules, and it will be easy when you have family time out to talk about it.
Wow, thank you for that. Okay, I wanted to remind you of a video. I don't know if you saw the video whereby the younger boy was slapping his older brother, and the brother was crying and he was slapping. And I was like, honestly, most of the time, this or the firstborn, they are the one that really suffered this a lot because we did okay. Number one, I think there's two stories. The one that begged, let me use the word begged the younger one because he feels that the parents love the younger one than him. These are the things that a lot of parents go through trying to share love between among siblings. And the firstborn, they are the one that really suffer this a lot. They believe that okay, once they have a younger one, they pamper that one more. So those ones they misbehave. And if you see most of the younger ones, they say most of the younger ones,
yes.
The second born, and
the first one will tell you, but that is not the way you trained me.
Most of my siblings, they look at me and say, like I'm very, I'm spoiled. They don't, but honestly, I remember one of my brothers, whenever, I have two older brothers that's ahead of me. Anytime we go to school, that one use the opportunity to hit me. It's like all the pampering that they used to give me at home. Once we are outside, you deal with me like
my brother did that.
He slapped me one day, like as in, my face was really showing scar. And I was like, is it a cry to be a last? But they feel like even up till now, they still feel like okay, we are the most favorite, me and my brother. And but honestly, as a parent, we need to really understand how to really balance things so that we don't create that, because most of it, if a child that is being tolerated that okay because he's a young child, okay, don't let me, he's still young now, he will grow up into it. Such child, they'll believe that whatever they can do, they go scot-free with it. Okay, mommy will find a way to sort it out and the likes. So that could be the case of the girl, the one that now slap his brother. If that one grows with that and the parent is not correct, I think that is wrong.
No, very wrong.
Because the parents begin to see that he's a small child now. He's a small child.
And you are lying in beat you.
Beat
yourself. Beat your own back now.
And those ones, they don't want to really beat them. Yes. The day my second son used to do it sometimes. He doesn't really do that, but he used to feel like he challenges his brother. So the day I gave the older brother, anytime he tried to challenge you, deal with him. Hey, the day he slapped him, I was like, it's like he's been waiting for me to give him that.
It's even good now. Show your own is two boys. You have a girl and a boy. It took me time because a boy will always want to be a boy, and the girl will be like, "Mommy, is this me? Do you see? I don't want to touch you." I say, "See, if he does anything I don't know, deal with him."
I don't realize that the younger one is not calling whenever because anytime you call him, you say, what? David, what? So me, that now corrected. Whenever anybody calls, don't be saying what, say yes. I just discovered anytime he calls them, I would just say yes, sir. So the only time he said yes, I was like, who is calling? You say David. I say, okay.
Because he has to take his place of authority. So you cannot do that for him.
I can't do it. So I wouldn't want to say yes, I stood much for you. So I just gave it that okay. Hand that your response. So you will know your lane.
I'm telling you.
So those are the things that we have to just put in for our children. So let them have respect, that empathy, respecting for others, as in having value for life. Yes. Because as a parent, if you don't have value for life, and your child goes out and does something wrong, you believe that okay, he's right, he's confident. We need to understand it. There's a thin line between being confident and being proud. When a child is proud, you should be able to know that okay, this child is getting beyond that confident age. And that's why a lot of people, I think parents that have girl child should be able to take cognizance of this so that you don't raise a proud and arrogant girl child
that's true.
in a bit to raise a confident girl child. Say,
True.
girl, they are having their voice. You challenge a boy. You know, a girl was trying to. My boy came home and he said, I was just saying that he was moody, and I said, what happened? He doesn't mention it. She slapped me. And why did she slap you? She said somebody threw something at her, and the person ran away, and it was the one behind her, and she thought that she was the one that it was the one that slapped, and she didn't even ask her, and she just slapped her back. And I've told her that don't return things, but that don't be violent with people. I said, what did you do? He said, nothing. You know, my brain was like, a girl slapped you for something you didn't do, and you didn't do nothing. I say, next time, you first of all, you tell her that I didn't do it, that you should have acknowledged and tell her that you didn't do that thing. And if you still continue to slap her, say, slap him back, slap her back. I say, I'm not teaching you. No, I've taught you not to be violent, that you should report and the like. But when you have reported and the person keep doing the same thing, return it back. When you return it back, you are gaining your authority, you are gaining your right. First, warn the person not to do it again. And if the person still insists, I will give the person back. That person will stop it. You understand?
Okay, sorry, sorry for cutting you. I was going to, I didn't want to forget. My children, my son asked me recently that my mommy, why is it that they used to tell boys not to touch girls? Is it so? And the girls, because a girl challenged my son in the class and said, "Try me." He said, "Mommy, I tried her. I hit her at the back." I said, "Ha!" He said, "But mommy, why would she tell me to try her?" I said, "Why is it that you tell us as a boy not to touch a girl, and the girls keep, insulting us?" Now I have to correct them, just like you said. Report to your teacher, except if the girl is doing it repeatedly, intentionally. You confront her.
And challenge her. Tell her to stop it. And not just say that be laughing and stuff. You say it in a firm way. So you know that you really mean it. So that you now do it.
Because there's some girls that are very confident that they can beat a boy.
Yeah, sure.
So you tell the girl, you don't try that with me. You can try with every other person, but don't try with me. So you build your confidence back and you stand by it. So we should stop telling just boys that don't just beat a girl. You should also tell them if a girl's try it, tell them what to do.
Absolutely. That's very important. I believe this is very important and very insightful for parents raising children and knowing when children should take to correction and how they should respond to correction. Because what you don't teach now, they will go out there and they will do something, they will mess up with themselves, and it will be too late for you to correct such a child in the public. Because a child you don't correct within the comfort of your home, we go out there to disgrace the name you are trying to build. So please, let's do it right and do it better. Thank you very much, Lady. Have a lot for this insightful, because I believe a lot of parents have learned from this today. If you have learned something, please drop it in the comment section. Let's hear your own view about this, about correcting a child that keeps repeating the same thing and you feel the child is being arrogant. So don't forget also to subscribe to this channel if you have not. Please subscribe to this channel to encourage us to do more. And till we come your way again next week for another insightful topic on Just a Chat. It's me, BunmiAlabi, and Lady Avalon saying, have an amazing day. Bye.